Hello students, welcome back to my channel STEM Education. I am back over here with the second part of chapter 14, that is sources of energy. In this particular part we are going to focus on the method of conversion of different forms of energy into electrical energy, renewable sources of energy, different forms of different sources, renewable sources of energy. Let us first talk about the thermal power plant. Thermal power plant, therm is heat. So in this particular plant is going to convert or generate electricity with the help of heat energy. Thermal power plant, I just read out the points what I jotted down. Thermal power plant generates electricity from heat produced by combustion of coal and petroleum. Say for example fossil fuel. Students, I am going to show you a small clip which this thermal power plant or the hydropower plant are using the mechanism for converting the heat energy or the water energy or any other form of energy, even the wind energy or geothermal energy. All this energy can be converted to electrical energy by the same mechanism. So after completing a hydropower plant, I'll just talk about that particular mechanism. For producing heat, coal, petroleum, natural gas can be used. Electricity transmission is very efficient. Why do we convert all this the form of energy into electrical energy? Because as I just talked in my last video, electricity is the best source of energy which is easy to store, transport, use. All the positive points are for electrical energy. So most of the form of energy we always try to convert it into electrical energy. Clear, students? So this is in short a very small way of understanding how the thermal power plant is working. You can see the cooker over here. When water is boiled in that, the steam that is coming out from the vessel is directed on the fan of the blades of the fan. Okay, and this fan in turn is going to say operate dynamo, and thus the bulb will work. So a power plant which uses heat energy to generate electricity is called thermal power plant. So the next is hydropower plant. Hydro word itself says water. So this particular power plant is using water for generating electricity. Hydropower plants are associated with dams. Around 25% of our country energy requirement is met by hydropower plant. The advantages of hydropower plant is it does not create any pollution, environmental pollution. The flowing water is a renewable source of energy which is used for the working of the hydropower plant. So it is easily available and free of cost, and it is a type of renewable, or it is obtained from nature. Construction of dams prevent flooding of river, provide water for irrigation for the whole year time. Disadvantage of hydropower plant: large area of agricultural land, a vast variety of flora and fauna. Human settlement gets submerged in water of reservoir formed by the dam. So this particular hydropower plant requires a large land. So that much land we are going to have the deficit in the form of agricultural land, or maybe the forest, or maybe for the human settlement, and so large ecosystems are destroyed. For making of this hydropower plant, one has to destroy a large ecosystem because we require large plain land area. Vegetation that's submerged under water, rocks under the aerobic condition and produces large amount of methane, which is going to result in greenhouse gas. It also creates a problem of satisfactory rehabilitation of displaced people. That is, for getting the land for making of the hydropower plant, the people who have settled over there has to be rehabilitated to some other area. So over this large area there will be so many people who are to be displaced to some other place. So creating the space for the rehabilitation of these people, it will be a big problem. Here is a simple outline figure of how water from the water reservoir is used for converting or generating electrical energy. So here you can see a reservoir where there are some gates. This gate, when it is opened, the water will flow in force on the turbine of the generator, which will be in the powerhouse. So it is going to move the turbine, and in turn it is going to make the generator work. And once the water from the reservoir has moved the turbine, the water is going to go back to the river. So there won't be any loss of water once it is used for generating electrical energy. To understand this particular mechanism in a very proper manner and the principle that is working behind this particular this conversion, for that I have just downloaded one short clip to make you understand this particular mechanism. So students will just see a small video clip which is just a 40 seconds to understand the common mechanism that is used for the conversion of different forms of energy into electrical energy.
An AC generator is an electric generator that converts mechanical energy to electrical energy in the form of an alternating EMF or alternating current. Working principle of an AC generator. An AC generator works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. In electromagnetic induction, when there is a relative motion between a coil and a magnetic field, an electric current or EMF is induced in the coil.
So, students, hope you all have found it interesting, the small video clip that I have just shown you to understand the main concept or the mechanism for converting any type of renewable source of energy into electrical energy. A small clip, a small picture I am just showing over here now to make you understand more better the video what you have already seen. So the rectangular coil what you see, that is always kept between the strong magnetic field. So according to the physics principle, when the coil with conducting wire, when it is cutting the magnetic lines of force, it is going to generate electrical energy. So when the electrical energy is generated, you can see the black color ring. From there the current passes to the wire, and thus on the galvanometer you will see the indicator which is going to fluctuate, which shows that some energy is generated. Clear? So let us go to the next type of source of energy, that is biomass. Biomass is material form of solar energy. That is, the solar energy directly or indirectly is making the plant and animal body, which are living organism. So the body mass of this plant and animal, that is called biomass. Bio is living, correct? So the next is wood. Wood is a biomass which is used as a fuel from quite long time. from olden days, human beings have been using wood as a fuel. But there are more disadvantages in using wood as a fuel, and hence human beings found out new different type of sources of energy or a fuel which can overcome the disadvantages of using the wood as a fuel. So let us see what are the main disadvantages of using wood as a fuel. The first one is it is producing lots of smoke when we burn the wood. So for domestic purpose, when it was used, lots of smoke it was producing, and hence it was very, very difficult to burn the wood for cooking purpose. It does not give you large amount of heat. That is the second disadvantage. Thus, by improvement in technology, we can improve the efficiency of the traditional source of energy. That is, this wood can be converted into a much better fuel that is called charcoal. Okay, so let us talk something about charcoal now. When wood is burnt in limited supply of air, what does that mean? Less amount of oxygen. Okay, so when less amount of oxygen is there, then water and other volatile material from the wood get removed and charcoal is formed. Wood on limited supply of oxygen gas can be converted into charcoal. How charcoal is better fuel compared to that of wood? Charcoal gives a higher calorific value. It has a higher calorific value. It means when we burn the same amount of wood and same amount of charcoal, then charcoal is going to give you more heat energy compared to that of wood. It does not produce smoke while burning. Just like wood, it does not give you the smoke. It is a compact fuel, that is, it occupies less space compared to that of wood, and it is easy to handle and it is more convenient to use it. Let us go to the next fuel, that is cow dung. Again, it is a biomass, but it is not good to burn cow dung directly as a fuel. Again, there are few reasons for that. Again, cow dung, when we burn cow dung, it again produces large amount of smoke. So it is going to pollute the environment. Cow dung does not burn completely. It is going to leave residue behind in the form of ash. It produces less amount of heat, that is, its calorific value is less. And by making biogas, that is by using cow dung, we can make biogas, correct? And we are getting smokeless fuel. So instead of directly using cow dung, instead of using cow dung directly as a fuel, we can use it in the biogas plant, convert it into biogas, and then if we use it, that is going to burn without making smoke, and thus it is not going to pollute the environment. Moreover, it is going to be easy to use than using the cow dung. Biogas. Biogas plant will be producing biogas, where it is going to use all the biomass, that is the material what is obtained, the waste material that is obtained from the living organism. Anaerobic microorganism decomposes the complex compound of the cow dung water slurry. So whatever cow dung is obtained, that is just added to biogas plant, where the bacteria is going to decompose it and it is going to convert it into slurry. This slurry can be used as a good fertilizer, and the gas which is produced during the decomposition is the biogas that can be used as a fuel, which can be used for domestic purpose. It is a smokeless fuel. It takes few days for the decomposition process and generate gases like methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen and hydrogen sulfide. Biogas is stored in the gas tank above the digester, from which they are drawn through pipes for use. So here is a small diagram of a biogas plant. The advantages of biogas is it is an excellent fuel as it contains 75% of methane gas. It is burning without smoke. It leaves no residue, just like wood and cow dung. Heating capacity is high. It also used for lighting, that is for producing light. The slurry, as I just told you, which is left behind, is an excellent manure rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. So it can be used as a fertilizer, as a manure in the farm. It is safe and efficient method of waste disposal. So whatever biomass or whatever waste we are getting from the plant and animal can be easily, disposed of without polluting the environment or the surrounding. So this is the best way to get fuel without any expense and free of charge. But this is generally possible in the village area where cow dung, etc. is easily available. Now let us go to the next form of energy, that is wind energy. Blowing wind is having lots and lots of kinetic energy. So this kinetic energy is used for moving the blades of the fan of a windmill, which in turn is going to move the coil that I've already shown you in the video clip. So the axis of the coil will be in connection with the axis of the fan. So when the fan moves, it is going to move the coil in turn, and thus electrical energy will be generated as shown in the video clip. So wind energy, unequal heating of the land mass and water bodies by solar radiation, generates air movement which causes wind to blow. So this is the main reason for the cause of wind, and the wind blows from higher pressure to lower pressure area. Use of kinetic energy generated by wind energy. This can be used to generate electricity by turning the rotor of the turbine. So as I just told you, the fan over here is the turbine. It can also be used to lift water from the well. It can also be used to run floor mill. See, these are the different uses of the kinetic energy. It's not only for the conversion of wind energy to electrical energy, but it can also be directly used for all these purposes. The output of a single windmill is quite small, so a number of windmills, large number of windmills are to be erected to get more amount of energy. The minimum wind speed for windmill to work is 15 to 20 km per hour. If the wind is blowing with a slow velocity or slow speed, then it won't be of use for the conversion. Advantages of wind energy: it is eco-friendly, it is an efficient source of renewable source of energy, and no recurring expenses for production of electricity. But there is some disadvantage or the limitations of this wind energy, and those are: large amount of area is required for erecting or for making wind energy farm. The initial cost is also too high. So initial expense is too high, but later on, once the farmhouse is erected, then there won't be any expense. Even there is very, very little expense in the maintenance later on. But again, in the first slide, preceding slide, that is I had just explained or told, that is a minimum requirement of the speed, that is 15 to 20 km per hour. Speed of air is required, then only the wind farm can work. As I just told you, initial cost is high. Then in Denmark, there are many such wind farm, and hence Denmark is called country of wind. India is ranked 5th in harnessing wind energy for the production of electricity. In India, largest wind energy farm has been established near Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu, and it is generating near about 380 megawatt of electricity. Alternate or non-conventional sources of energy. As day by day the use of energy, the consumption of energy, the need of energy is increasing day by day, and hence if we keep on using the non-renewable source of energy, that is the conventional sources of energy, then it is going to get exhausted, and hence there is a dire need to find out the renewable source of energy. Renewable source of energy, the other word is non-conventional sources of energy, so that we can conserve the non-renewable source of energy for future. Clear, students? So, the reason for alternate source of energy is the fossil fuel reserve in the earth are limited, which may get exhausted soon if we are going to use them at the present rate. Reduce the pressure on fossil fuel, making them last for much longer time, and to reduce the pollution level and save the environment. So if we use less of fossil fuel, then we'll be able to control the pollution, environmental pollution. The next is solar energy. Solar energy is the best source of renewable source of energy, that is a non-conventional source of energy. Sun is the ultimate source of energy, as we all know. Whether we are getting energy from petrol, diesel or any other source, or say plant, then plant and fossil fuel, all of them are getting energy directly or indirectly from sun. So we can say that sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth. Energy obtained from the sun is called solar energy. The solar constant value is 1.4 kilojoule per second per meter square. Outer edge of the earth receives solar energy equal to 1.4 kilojoule per second per meter square. Okay. So, what are the different devices that works on solar energy? Solar cooker, solar water heater, solar cell, and many more such solar devices are there which is working by using solar energy as a fuel. Geothermal energy. The word itself, geo, that is earth, therm, that is heat. So the heat energy that is obtained from the earth crust is called geothermal energy. So geothermal energy is the heat energy from hot rocks present inside the earth. When underground water comes in contact with the hot spot, steam is generated. Steam trapped in rocks is routed through pipes to a turbine and used to generate electricity. So the underground hot water stream is made to flow out with the help of tube, that is the pipes, and when this hot water stream, boiling water, when it comes out, the steam from this boiling water is directed on the turbine. The turbine in turn is going to move the coil within the strong magnetic field, and thus the geothermal energy will be converted into electrical energy. Advantages of geothermal energy. Economical to use geothermal energy, that is less expensive, does not cause any pollution. It is pollution free. The limitations of geothermal energy are: geothermal energy is not available everywhere. Deep drilling in the earth to obtain geothermal energy is very difficult and expensive. So initially it is expensive, but later on we get free of cost. In New Zealand and USA, there are a number of power plants based on geothermal energy, and they are already working. The next is nuclear energy, which is considered to be one of the main source in present era as a source of energy, because nuclear energy gives vast amount of energy. The energy released during the nuclear reaction is called nuclear energy. It can be obtained by two processes, that is nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission that is breaking. When the nucleus is broken down into smaller nuclei, some amount of energy is radiated, and this is called nuclear energy. The reverse, vice versa, if we club together the two small nuclei and make it a bigger nuclei, to which we set it nuclear fusion, then during this also some amount of energy is liberated, and that is what nuclear energy is. So nuclear fission. Fission means split up. The process in which the heavy nucleus, you know the meaning of heavy nucleus, students? Heavy nucleus are the one which are having more number of neutrons in it. So its atomic mass is much more than the other. So the process in which the heavy nucleus of a radioactive atom, radioactive elements are like uranium, plutonium and thorium. They split up into smaller nuclei when bombarded with low energy neutrons. That is called nuclear fission. A tremendous amount of energy is produced during this nuclear fission. U-235, that is the isotopic form of uranium, is used as a fuel in nuclear reactor in form of uranium rod. Now what is this nuclear reactor, students? Nuclear reactor is the reactor where this chain reaction is carried out in the controlled manner. If the chain reaction is not carried out in controlled manner, then tremendous amount of nuclear energy or the energy will be generated, which will be destroying the area in a large amount or large vicinity. Clear? So it is very necessary that this chain reaction has to be carried out in a controlled manner. Working of nuclear fission. In a nuclear reactor, self-sustaining chain reaction releases energy at a controlled rate, which is used to produce steam and further generate electricity. Major nuclear power plants. They are at Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar in Rajasthan, Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Narora in UP, Kakrapar in Gujarat and Kaiga in Karnataka. This is nuclear fusion. That is, you can see over here two hydrogen. The deuterium is fused together to make one helium atom. And during this you can see plus heat, that is heat energy is liberated or generated, which can be used for heating water, boiling water, and the steam can be used to move the turbine. When two nuclei of light element which are having less number of neutrons like hydrogen combine to form a heavy nucleus like helium, and tremendous amount of energy is released, is called nuclear fusion. Very high temperature and pressure is needed for fusion. Hydrogen bomb is based on this particular phenomena of nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is the source of energy in the sun and other stars. As you all know, sun is the never ending source of energy. Don't you think the sun has been giving us energy from such a long time, but still it has not stopped giving us energy? So don't you think that what is the mechanism in the sun, or what amount of energy is stored in the sun that continuously from such a long period of time, for thousands and thousands of years together, it has been giving us this much amount of energy. Okay, then also it is not getting exhausted. It has been found that the sun, as you know, it is a star, and star is having the lifespan as we have, and it has been found that sun has reached only halfway of its lifespan. So still, from whatever years it has been giving us the energy, that many years still it is going to give us energy. Clear? So the sun, in the sun, the source of or the energy is not getting exhausted, because in the sun this particular reaction of conversion of hydrogen to helium And breaking of helium back to hydrogen is a type of reversible reaction. Breaking of helium to hydrogen is nuclear fission, and fusion of two hydrogen to give you back helium is nuclear fusion. So this nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, two reaction continuously goes on taking place in the atmosphere of sun, and thus the source, or it is continuous in both the time for during fission as well as fusion, it is providing energy, and thus the energy is not getting exhausted from the sun. Advantage of nuclear fusion: production of large amount of useful energy from a very small amount of nuclear fuel. It does not produce greenhouse gases like CO2, and thus it is not, say, adding the factor of increasing the environmental temperature, global warming. Limitations of nuclear fusion: environmental contamination due to improper nuclear waste storage and its disposal. That is, whatever the waste is produced from the nuclear reactor, if that nuclear waste is not stored properly, then it may create the environmental destruction or degradation, contamination. Risk of accidental leakage of harmful radiation. So if in the nuclear reactor, if there is a small leakage, then also the radiation can easily pass out through the air-like space also, and it can destroy the environment, the gases present in the environment, the microorganism present in the environment. High cost of installation. The initial cost, or when we want to erect the nuclear reactor plant, then initially it is very, very costly. Limited availability of nuclear fuel. That is the uranium, thorium, the one which is used as a fuel for the nuclear reactor. The availability of this is very, very less. Environmental consequences. That is, what is the effect of nuclear reactor on the environment. Exploiting any source of energy disturbs the environment in some way or other. The source we would choose depends upon the following factor: ease of extracting energy from the source. That is, if we are able to extract energy easily from any source, we directly go to use that particular source first. And because of that only, we are trying to convert most of the renewable source of energy into electrical energy, because electrical energy, we find it easy to use and easy for converting it into any other form of energy. Cost of extracting energy from the source. It has to be less expensive. Efficiency of technology available to extract energy. The environmental damage caused by using that source should be very, very less, or should be nil. It must not cause the environmental damage or pollution of environment. In other words, no source of energy is said to be pollution free. Some sources are cleaner than the other. To a certain extent, it will be surely going to pollute the environment. Clear? But the rate at which they pollute, the percentage by which they pollute the environment, it differs from source to source. For example, solar cell may be pollution free, but the assembly of the device would have caused some environmental damage. Clear, students? If you have found this particular video very informative and interesting, then please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. To stay tuned with my channel, please subscribe it so that you can get the further notification of the new videos those are added in my channel. Don't forget to write down the comment about the video. Thank you.